Look, we feel very positive, and it was a clear outcome last night, but we're not getting carried away with it. We've got a big job to do. We thank the Australian people for having faith in us. I think we've been a good government, but we've got a good, positive agenda, and that's what Australian people voted for yesterday.
Did you expect that last night?
Well, I was always pretty positive about an outcome, and I knew that we had a positive agenda, and the agenda we had, I won't rattle it off again, but I can if you like.
I've heard it a few times.
Heard it a few times, and I think that the other side had a plan for higher taxes, higher deficits for 2 years, and just cuts, and the Australian people voted for unity rather than division.
Yeah, when are you heading to the US?
Oh, look, I'm
Right back to work, right? Where you are?
yeah, and my job's here. My job's here to represent Australia's national interests, and that's what I'll be doing.
Congratulations.
And the first thing I'll be doing is going to Canberra.
Go enjoy it.
World
Congratulations.
leaders, Ian, could you just tell
I've-
us who said what to you?
Oh, look, I've spoken to a range of people, and either by phone, conversations. The first person to call me was my friend James Marape, who I did the Kokoda track with, of course, on Anzac Day last year. He called me about 7:45, I think.
Too
so,
early?
No, it was he was first. So he's a good friend, of course, and a great friend of Australia. And this year, Papua New Guinea, of course, celebrates its 50th anniversary of its independence. So he was very keen on having his political party, of course, was the party that had the relationship with Labor back in 1975. So we had a warm discussion about that. I told him it was a bit early to call it at that time, but since then I had a good discussion with Christopher Luxon this morning, the New Zealand Prime Minister. Had some good text messages with world leaders as well. A very warm message from Emmanuel Macron in France, and Keir Starmer, and a range of others. But we'll get through. I've got some phone conversations this afternoon booked in, including, of course, President Prabowo of Indonesia, a great friend of Australia, and President Zelensky as well, who has shown such courage in leading the Ukrainian people against the brutal aggression of Vladimir Putin and the Russians. Will continue to back Ukraine. That's my government's position. It was yesterday, it still is today.
What
You
about
tell us
President Trump?
The conversation with Peter Dutton, what was that like last night?
Oh, look, it was a warm conversation. I feel for Peter Dutton. He was generous in his comments. I wish him and Kirrily and his family all the best. It's a tough business, politics. There's no doubt about that. And it would have been a tough night for Peter, but he was generous. He did mention my mum, and that was very kind of him, as well as mentioning Jody and Nathan, and that was a very kind thing to do. I used to visit this coffee shop with my mum. I grew up just down the road here, and I did certainly think of her last night as well. She would be very proud, but I'm very proud of the Labor team that I lead, including this bloke here, the member for Bennelong. He's rocked it. What's your two-party?
60-40.
60% in Bennelong for the Labor Party. One of the things that happened during this campaign, and Jerome represents it, is we had a redistribution. It became a Liberal seat, having won a seat off the Liberal Party, Bennelong, at the 2022 election. There wasn't 1 second that Jerome doubted his capacity to win. He just put his head down, did the work, and didn't complain about that. It's a bit of a rough deal when you win a seat and then it gets turned back the other way. That's the sort of discipline that our team showed. We will be a disciplined, orderly government in our second term, just like we have been in our first. We've been given the great honour of serving the Australian people, and we don't take it for granted, and we'll work hard each and every day. Thank you.